Good evening. My name is Aram. I would like to invite you to a Bible study every Wednesday at 3 p.m. We will be studying the book of wisdom in the Holy Bible, which is the book of Proverbs. God's people perish for lack of knowledge. So if you don't want to perish, please join us. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Aram. So I am studying Proverbs Chapter 2 this evening. So join me, please. Okay, Proverbs Chapter 2. My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom and apply thine heart to understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest her for her as for hid treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of the Lord. So basically, it's talking about if you love knowledge, whatever's in your heart, that's what you love, first of all, in verse 2. So I feel like I have to explain the parts of the body and how the spiritual world relates to the body. So first, we all have a fleshly body and we have a brain. We also have a soul. So in Genesis, it says that God breathed his soul into Adam, or a soul, or a piece of his soul into Adam, and he became living. Okay, so the soul comes to your body with your first breath. The soul leaves your body with your last breath. And so whatever is in your heart, that is what you love. The things you love, you think about with your mind or your brain. So when we talk about health and we talk about mind, body, and soul, that's what we're talking about. There are some diseases of the soul. There's some tormenting spirits of the soul, such as depression, anger, guilt, fear. I could go on and on. And the opposite of that, which would be a healthy soul, is love, joy, thanksgiving, things like that that make the soul healthy. So you can have an unhealthy body and you can have an unhealthy soul. Okay. And you can seek treatment, if you need to, with a psychiatrist, because the soul does affect your body and your mind and your thinking and things like that. So I do advocate for treatment. So see your doctor, see your psychiatrist. Okay, so basically, I didn't mention angels and demons and things like that because that's too deep for Proverbs chapter 2, but it probably will be mentioned, later on with some other chapters. So we'll keep going. So basically, it's saying here, we talked about in an earlier Proverbs Chapter 1 that the beginning of wisdom is fear of the Lord. The Lord gives you commandments to follow, like the 10 Commandments that, have been removed from everywhere, so that people will know what to do to be healthy, what to do to have a healthy soul, to have a healthy, safe world, things like that. What's good for us. God's laws are not here to punish us, they're here to help us, to make us better. Okay, so verse 6, for the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. So with verse 6, that's pretty simple. God created the world with words. Okay, it came out of his mouth and it was created. Now, if you don't believe in creation, this is Genesis, where you can read about how God created the earth. If you don't believe in creation, that's fine. Just keep pushing. Okay, verse 7. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. So God is there for the righteous, okay? Nobody else is, so he's there for us. You have to put God first, you second, everybody else third. So when your parents abandon you, when your friends abandon you, when your coworkers abandon you, who's there? Okay, I'll move on. Verse 8, he keepeth the paths of judgment and preserveth the way of his saints. So he is with you when nobody else is, okay? He's walking with you. Verse 9, then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. So without God and his laws, we really wouldn't know anything. God is like a father teaching us. He's not like a father that said, okay, just learn for yourself, like, some human parents do. No, he gave us a law. He gave us commandments that would help us. God's law is not to hurt us, it's to help us. Okay, verse 10. Then wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. So there's the word soul. Knowledge is pleasant to your soul. So when you receive the knowledge of God's word, reading the Bible, Proverbs is the book of wisdom, and I chose that book because so many people don't have it. But when you have knowledge, it's very pleasant to your soul. It'll make you feel good, okay? I haven't been depressed probably since I'm in my 50s, probably since my 30s. I remember being depressed. A lot of times people get depressed from rejection. They get depressed from love, a broken heart, things like that. But when you start putting God first in your life, that depression just goes away. Okay. Verse 11, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh froward things, who leave the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil and delight in frowardness of the wicked, whose ways are crooked and froward in their paths, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even the stranger which flattereth with her words, which forsaketh the guide of her youth and forgetteth the covenant of her God. So that's a lot. That's a long sentence from Proverbs 2, verse 10 to 18. So let me just try to sum that up. We already talked about the soul. Let's talk about discretion, verse 11. So if you have wisdom in your heart, if you love wisdom, you'll have discretion. Okay, so discretion shall preserve you. So, what is discretion? So, discretion means that you don't say everything on your mind. You think of things because people can't handle the truth sometimes. So, you have to be very careful how you handle foolish people or people, they don't have the wisdom that you do. So, there's an old saying, don't argue with a fool. Why is that? Because you'll just be fighting like a physical fight and really he still won't have any wisdom, so it's a waste of time. So um as a Christian, you have to have discretion because everybody is not on your level, and God will give you that discretion so you can know what to tell people, what level they're on, and when they're ready for little bits and pieces of knowledge that can help them. Okay, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh froward things. The word froward, I had to look that up. That's an old English thing. I didn't know what it meant. So it actually means a person that does the opposite of what they should be doing. For example, if you tell a dog to sit and he stands, if you tell someone to go right and they go left. So it's like a lie or doing the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing. So God will deliver you from people like that. You can tell people that lie or they say one thing, they do another, or this and that. Verse 14, who leave the paths of uprightness to walk in the way of darkness. 15, who rejoice to do evil and delight in frowardness of the wicked. So wicked people they love to destroy the innocent. They rejoice about it. They're so happy. When they think they have taken down an innocent man, they have a party. They rejoice. They love it. Okay. Whose ways are crooked and they froward in their past. So God will give you wisdom to keep you away from people like that. 17, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even the stranger which flattereth with her words. So in life, when men cannot take down a good man, they will use a woman to do it. So go back and read the book of now I lost it. Samson and Delilah. There's a story in the Bible. So Samson was a good man. He was fighting the battles of the Lord. He had a lot of strength. So the other men wanted to know how to take Samson down. Okay. So they sent Delilah to take him down. So you can read that story. Okay. 18, which forsaketh the guide of her youth and forgetteth the covenant of her God. So most people, when they were children, most wicked probably had a little bit of goodness in their heart and knew a few things. But as they got older, something happened. They could have been tempted by money or some kind of temptation, whatever it is. And now they're on the path of unrighteousness. Okay. So verse 19 of Proverbs Chapter 2, for her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead. None that go unto her return again, neither they take hold of the paths of life. So the best example I could give you of that is like a trap house. Trap house is where people go to do drugs, and they're not going to be the same that they were when they entered the home. When you leave a trap house, you'll never be the same. Okay. Verse 21, Proverbs 2. that thou mayest walk in the way of good men and keep the paths of righteousness. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. So what does that mean? So who's going to root the transgressors out? Well, it takes a miracle. Okay, it takes God. You can't do it. I can't do it. We need God to help us do this. So when you pray and you say, I'll just use the basic Our Father prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I'll stop there. You're inviting God's kingdom to come here on earth. And when that happens, you will see miracles happen all over and changes come about. Okay, so that's the end of Proverbs chapter 2 of Proverbs. So I will be taping Proverbs 3, 4, and 5 to distribute at a future date. So I'm trying to build up, get ahead of these videos to put them out. Okay, so I hope you were blessed by Proverbs chapter 2. Please join us next week for Proverbs chapter 3 and be blessed.